You joined this community because you saw a piece of my story, a piece of my business that you see either provided value for you. You saw yourself reflected because I come from very humble beginnings. I'm a first generation business owner. I have had to figure everything out on my own. So for whatever it is, the reason that you're here, I want to give you the resources that you need to build a successful business. Whether you already have a business, but you're struggling with sales, social media, or just overall growth, or if you are in a headspace where you know you want to start a business, you know that working a 9 to 5 is not going to get you anywhere, and that it's literally the modern day Egypt where you're being enslaved and working for the higher ups. So I am here to provide clarity for you. I am here to provide value to you, and I want you to win. The whole point of this community is I want you to win. So I am currently working on putting out the course, but I don't want you to have to wait because so many of you are here and success loves speed. So I watered all my information that took me literally like 5-6 years worth of being in business, working for other people, working for myself, digital products, service-based, everything. And if I really get to the core of it, you only need 2 main things to provide the right momentum for you to kick off and see exponential growth with sales, with social media, with everything. This is how you're gonna get your first win. Mindset. Now, I know anytime that you go to a conference, which probably you have been if you're here, about business, if you ever talk to a high value individual, the first thing that they tell you is like, oh, mindset. But I am guilty looking back. When I was working a 9 to 5, I was very like, my mind was very just 9 to 5, build a little business, buy a little house, buy a little car, you know. My mind was like, oh, here they go again. Like, oh, they all say the same thing. Like, bro, just say you don't want to tell me the real information because I need you to tell me what website to go to, what to click, what to buy. They were completely right. At its very root, doesn't matter how much value you receive. It doesn't matter how much opportunities you have around you. It doesn't matter anything. If your mind is not equipped and is not trained to see it and take action, we're going to get deep into it. The core 2 values that I want to give to you are first, the mindset. The first point I have is you have to know who you want to be and reverse engineer your steps to know what you have to do to get there. Start with the who you have to become, not the what you want to achieve. This is where you are now. This is where you want to go. And this gap in between is simply a shift of mindset. I used to hustle. I used to try to outwork everyone. I was taking Adderall 3 days back to back, caffeinated, not eating. And none of that works if you don't understand that you are not trying to work towards a number. You are not trying to work towards a thing. In reality, it's not about the cars you're gonna have. It's not about the house you're gonna have. It's about how it's gonna make you feel. The whole thing is like, in reality, everything that you want materialistically and out of life, it's all about how it's gonna make you feel, right? And so if you get down to the core of it, of like how you want to feel, then you know what the steps are in order for you to become the person that gets those feelings. The key to unlock the next level of success, of your personality, of life that you are looking and craving for is not numbers. It's not a marketing tactic. It's not anything outside of you. It's actually all inside of you. You have to be somebody completely different. And it's not in the, oh, you have to believe it to achieve it, oh, affirmations. No. You don't understand. You have to change your belief system because your mind can only go as high as it thinks it's possible and safe. You don't understand that in order for you to take the right steps towards the goal that needs to be done, in order for you to take action, in order for you to implement, in order for you to work, you have to build a different person inside of you. And it all starts in your mind. We'll go deeper into that. Second, forgive yourself for not knowing better in the past because you're carrying weight that won't allow you to run towards your goals. Stop lamenting about the things you did wrong. Stop punishing yourself by reliving situations over and over in your head. Everything bad that has happened to you is for your own good. You learned to count better when you were thrown into your first job in front of a register than you did when you were watching a teacher explain it on a board. Make peace with yourself, otherwise your brain doesn't have the energy to focus on your future. Your brain literally single-handedly controls your entire body. it controls your ambition, it controls your actions. Everything is in the mind. And I mean that literally. Like, it's not just like, oh, in your mind, like in your brain. Like, your brain has control over you. And if your brain has to spend energy by reliving the past, you lamenting, you trying to figure out, if I could go back, I should have done this instead, it's literally wasting energy that could be used towards thinking of different ways for you to get to that specific goal of what you want to achieve or who you want to become. So I know you might think this has nothing to do with business, but business is just self-development on crack. The more that you come into alignment with yourself, the more that you learn to control your thoughts, your habits, your actions, and how to not rely on feelings in order for you to take action, that's when you start to unlock the numbers. It's all mental before you can see it in the tangible world. Before we move on to business, is if you are here, that means you are very business oriented. If you have tried a business before but it didn't work, it doesn't mean give up on being a business owner and that it's not meant for you. We all fail inevitably. Give me one single person that has built a business that is worthwhile, that is worth the value that it provides, that has not failed before. Tesla, Amazon, Apple, literally everyone fails. It's part of the process. And I'm here to bring you some really bad news. Not only have you failed before, you're gonna continue to fail in the future, and you have to make peace with that. Just checking that it's recording, and I'm not gonna edit this. You have to change the meaning of mistakes. It's not, dang, I messed up. Dang, I should have done better. Dang, I can't allow that to happen to me again. No. This is, oh, thank you, God, that you allowed me to face that mistake, so that now I know what I'm lacking. I know what gap of knowledge, of action, of skill I have to integrate in order for me to unlock the next level. Okay? Now let's get into business. Okay, so business mindset. You don't need to buy any more products on how to run a successful business, especially from someone whose success and money comes from you buying their info products. You need direct access to someone who has created the result you yourself want to create for your business, and someone who doesn't see you as a customer, but a past version of themselves who just needed access to the right information in order to create momentum and grow their business exponentially. No shade, because I used to sell an info product. I am working on building an info product, but the reality, it's the sad reality. People only care about themselves. And when you invest into people who are of the world, people who don't see business as a means to serve God and his people, but rather a numbers game, rather a how can I get the most money out of you game, then unfortunately the advice that they're going to give you is not going to actually create results for you, because you are the business. So I have seen, especially lately, a overflow of school courses being put out all around social media, UGC, going viral, selling through content. I go to check their page. Their whole business is just selling the course. They don't sell anything. Or if they do sell something, it's like not even 10% of the whole business income that they have, right? So it's like, be careful who you look up to, be careful who you take information from, and not even that, because not gonna lie, there are very, very good courses out there around social media, how to go viral, how to create followers, all of that, but there is such a thing as overconsuming. You think your brain literally gets off on you buying courses, because it's as close as it'll allow you to get to actually taking the action and implementing the things and actually putting the work in the business, right? So I think you should really do a self analysis and just figure out, hey, does it not make sense that if I bought even just one course before that is about business, that is about sales, I don't think that the problem is that I need another one. I think the problem is that I need to learn how to implement this. The problem is I have to learn how to open my mind and how to get myself to concentrate long enough to where I can put this into use before I allow myself to go and buy something else. It's like buying a pair of like you want to go running. You want to run a marathon and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to run 3 miles. Oh my God. I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. I'm going to buy a pair of shoes, and you go and you buy the shoes, you buy the shorts, you buy the hat, you buy the water bottle, you buy everything, and your brain loves it, because to your brain, that's equivalent to you going and running the marathon. But then the marathon comes around and you're like, oh, actually, no, I have better plans. No, I'll go to the next one. I'll just use this clothes and these equipment that I bought. I'm going to use it just to like go to the gym. It's like, you put it off. You put off the real goal, the real work, because your brain got off of you, like your brain got off on you getting ready for it. So stop getting ready. Just stop and stop getting ready. Stop planning. Stop investing. Stop it all. Nothing is equivalent to you putting the work in. You executing. Melanie, what do you mean? Oh no, yeah, I execute. No. Executing is not sitting down for 10 hours with ChatGPT and planning out your whole execution for marketing and sales and your funnel and planning how you're going to use it, but never actually do. Real execution is what I did just now. I was sitting there and I was like, dang, I have to provide value. My why is so strong that I didn't care the fact that I've been wearing this makeup since 10 hours ago. I do not have my hair done. I do not look amazing where I want, I put my phone out and I was like, I'm gonna execute. Like I cannot wait until things are perfect. I don't have that luxury. Time is of essence. My time is limited. You know what I mean? So yes, execute. Don't let your brain trick you into thinking that preparing, investing, sitting down, learning, reading is equivalent to you putting work in. You need to put the work in. It's hard. Your brain doesn't like it, but you have to force it. Okay. The day you understand that business is a form of serving and improving society is the day you will gain favor from God to succeed. And it is also the day you go all in on your business. Wait, let me say that again. And again, I'm not going to edit this because the day you understand that business is a form of serving and improving society is the day you will gain favor from God to succeed. And it is also the day you go in on your business until you inevitably succeed, because you won't care about the numbers or fame, which means you will endure long enough to see results. I don't know how much of my story you know, but I'm going to briefly go through it. I come from an extremely poor family. Like, if you think you're down bad, like, you don't understand. Like, I genuinely used to live in a homeless shelter with other women. We shared a room, and it was like 4 people in a room. We would all share a shower. I would only get to go there 7 p.m. and later. Before that, you were not allowed to be in there. Even before that, I was born and raised in Colombia, and I just like come from a poor family. Like, my mom grew up without a floor, like peeing in a tree, like bad. You know what I mean? So I built the Luxury Inc., which is a permanent makeup business, the beauty business, and I built it out of hunger. I was so hungry for money because I never experienced it before. I wanted the luxury bags, the makeup, like the lifestyle, the car, the house. I wanted success. I wanted materialistic good so bad. And so that business was built off of thriving, hustle culture, boss babe. I would overwork myself, long hours, completely disregarding my mind, my body. You know what I mean? It was like money. I was literally enslaved to money. I would do anything. I would just chase the numbers. I did not care about the impact. Now, did it have impact? Thank God, yes, it did, because I was teaching women a skill that they're able to use to provide for their family, make it their full-time job, make it a side hustle that brings extra income for them. I know girls that were able to buy a car. I know girls who were able to build a whole business and like leave their job. So it just so happened that I actually created results, but in reality it was all a numbers game for me. You know what I mean? And so what happened, I got burnt out. I was like, first of all, I outgrew this. I don't like this anymore. Like, I am a grown woman. Like, I like business, I like numbers, I like the sales and back end part of all this. Second of all, it's just like my hand hurts. Like all the girls, like, it's so basic, all the girls going to beauty, like, I don't want to fit the stereotype. I started getting like irritated with customers, and it's just like I didn't love it anymore. I got burnt out because I was doing it for the wrong reason. So make sure that your why is strong enough to where you are able to get up from the couch, put your phone on, and talk to people, because you know the value and the change that you're going to be able to provide for them. Make sure your why is strong enough. And now I am surrounded to God, surrendered to God. I am a woman of God, and I now see business as a way for me to reach the masses. I say to myself, if I was able to create all this virality, all these results, all this change when I was doing it for the wrong reasons, imagine how much more I'm going to be able to do for the kingdom now that I'm doing it for the right reasons. And surrendering to God and I can't remember the word, but surrendering to God and following the law, how God says, will open more doors for you than any title, any degree will. And it will put you in places where in one day you will get where you couldn't in 7 years. Just saying, if you really want game, God is the answer. God is the real key. Okay, and lastly, you are one video away from being sold out and having an overflowing business. I have experienced this many times. It's very hard for people to believe, especially if you've never experienced that. I know it was hard for me to believe when I was hearing these stories and I had a business, and I was like, they're lying. Like, girl, I know that if you don't get up here and show up 12 hours a day, your business is not gonna drive. Then what happens? I go viral overnight one time. I create $30,000 from a course that I did over Zoom in one day. And I said, oh, bet. Went all in, right? Okay, let me go through this fast. This is actual business. So first I went over mindset, then I went mindset on business, and this is actual business. So people only care about themselves. Stop selling the service or product and sell the solution to their problem. Sell the convenience, sell the status. People hate buying from the beginning of time. People hate you coming on here and saying, look at this iPad. On this iPad, you're gonna be able to watch a movie, you're gonna be able to write. Okay, there's Samsung, there's Huawei, there's like all these other tablets. You know what I mean? What did Apple do? Apple sells you a status. There's literally like a whole thing where like we Apple users are like, Samsung never, right? So they created that illusion of community, of belonging, of status, right? You go to third world countries, if you have an iPhone, like that means you are of a certain degree, you have money, you are like elite, right? They created that through social media. They created that through marketing and through brainwashing, honestly, right? So how can you do that for your business? Rather than criticize, think, how can I do this for my business? Done is better than perfect. Number one, done is better than perfect. I work for the top 1% of businesses here in Miami, and this is something that I get told on the daily. Like, I am still a girl, of course, I still want perfection, but I'll hear time and time again, done is better than perfect, done is better than perfect. And that literally got installed into my software where now I see it. The thing is, there's so many people, there's people more talented than me, there's people who have better skills than me, there's people, you know what I mean, they went to videography school, they went to to school for a marketing degree, yet I'm the one that the #1 plastic surgeon in Miami picked, not because I'm the best of the best of the best, know everything in the game, but because I have audacity, I know how to sell myself, I know my worth, and I know how to project that. Okay, done is better than perfect. I will beat you every time. I will audacity you every time. I am full of audacity, right? I'm not the best now. I wasn't the best when I was in permanent makeup, but I have the audacity. I know my value and I know how to sell myself. Okay. Social media formula is to get people's attention. This is done through polarizing content, strong controversial statements, mind-pleasing stimulation, virality, crazy, out of the norm content. People spend 6+ hours on social media daily. Their mind is numb from the overflow of get ready with me, inspirational videos, talking to camera videos. The way to get them to listen to what you have to say and what you have to sell is to interrupt that pattern, right? That pattern of safety, of repetition. So they're all using the same song, the same visuals, the same movement, the same story. So anytime that you try to listen to these gurus about how to go viral, I have the key formula for social media, how to go viral, $9.99, click the link in my bio. In reality is that won't work for you, because in reality, the way to go viral is to simply go against what everybody else is doing. Because the way that it works is we are literally, all of us are addicted to social media like a literal drug where you get high from it, right? So when you're scrolling, it's like you're going down. You're looking, like, the reason that you scroll, like, you only look at the first 3 seconds is because you're already looking for that one crazy video that's gonna make you laugh, that's gonna make you cry, that's gonna make you share it. You are like, your mind is looking, the way that you get that dopamine is because your mind gets your body to feel things just by watching something, right? So when it's boring, not even boring, when it's like everything else you've seen before, your mind doesn't feel that. It wants to feel that adrenaline rush, whether it's laughter, sadness, compassion, hate, right? So it's looking for that next boom video, and that's exactly what you have to create. Bro, I literally just gave you the whole game right now. That's it. Do that right, bro. You don't understand. If you were to implement everything that I'm telling you now, you would get enough resources, enough momentum, enough wins for you to completely take over whatever industry you're in. I literally just gave you more game that I probably have gotten from any marketing course. Okay, my last one. I'm gonna finish with this. Build an offer, then talk about it until something goes viral. There are people less talented than you out there, people who use their business just to get money out of people, but you, with crazy good potential, skill, care, and passion for your business, are stuck, or worse, you have not even started because you are overthinking the launch and trying to make it perfect, but it's actually your brain trying to keep you safe because it knows what it's like to be in the getting ready phase, the planning phase, the preparing, the building rather than executing, jumping in when you're not ready, and actually launching, showing up imperfect. Why? Because your brain has one job and one job only, and it's to keep you safe and to keep you alive. So you're literally getting off, your brain is literally getting off on you paying for courses and staying up late nights planning a 10-page launch blueprint for your business, but it will not get you to be comfortable enough to get in front of a camera, talk about how your product is life-changing for someone, and being able to upload it with maximum 15 minutes of editing at most. Why? Because that's unknown. And it likes patterns, predictability, and comfort. Honey, master your mind, master yourself, and get yourself to be able to take action. Everything else will fall into place. This is just a little preview. I wanted to give you a win. I wanted you to have something right now tangible that you can implement right away into your business as soon as tonight, and be able to generate results, because I am still working on the course. It's going to be very deep into all things marketing. So it's taking a while because there's a lot of videos that I'm going to be uploading into it. But I'm telling you, and I am guaranteeing you, implement the knowledge that I just gave you now, as little as you think it is. There's no way you will not receive results, momentum, and growth.